Welcome to FootballGameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2013 AFC Wildcard Playoff Preview presented by Fair Market Fantasy between the San Diego Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Chargers. This week versus the Cincinnati Bengals, San Diego can have some success in the passing game by getting the football in the hands of Keenan Allen quickly. Their outstanding rookie that does a great job after the catch. I'm going to show you how they can get that done. I'm going to show you two plays. This is the first play, spread formation, and this one we're going to utilize motion to create an opportunity to get Keenan Allen, who's right here in the slot, get him the football quickly. So we're going to motion the back out wide, and what that is going to do is going to pull those backers just a little bit. Everyone's going to shift over. So now you've created a situation where Keenan Allen is uncovered, and it's a simple route. Boom. Hitch right there, get him the football quickly, and you can have some success. Now the second play you want to run is going to take advantage of, we're not going to sprint, we're not going to motion the back out. Now we're going to put this guy right here in the slot. So now you have a walked out backer, so everybody's moved over a little bit, and this is going to be the nickel guy. And now you're reading the nickel defender, and what's going to have to happen is they're in a 4-2-5. So what you're going to do is try to read this guy right here and take advantage of his aggressiveness. Is he going to jump the short route? Are they playing cover 3? Or is he going to stay in man and cover Keenan Allen, and what this safety is going to do as well? So what we're doing front side, we're going to send this wide receiver on the hit. So again, you're reading the nickel back right here because Keenan Allen is running a stutter route. He's going to run, stop as if he's going to run a hitch as well. Then he's breaking to the post. Now you have a situation where you're going to either have him running against a safety, or you're going to try to have him taking advantage right here in this hole where this nickelback had made a choice whether or not he guessed wrong here, or is he trying to get underneath this route. Either way, that's how you can try to find ways to get Keenan out in the football, because elsewhere you're running your simple hitch and seam. So you're pulling those guys away anyway. But this is how you can take advantage of the slot defender, whether it's a linebacker or a nickelback with Keenan Allen, because they're going to have to get the football to him quickly. Again, you want to put the ball in your playmaker's hands very quickly and allow them to make one miss, and no one is better than doing that at the receiver position than Keenan Allen so far this season. This week versus the San Diego Chargers, the Cincinnati Bengals will have to be able to communicate effectively in the passing game, and I'm show you how they can utilize a cover 2 matchup zone versus that Chargers passing game. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. Basic route combination that the Chargers love to run. They run your dig, they run your crosser, they run your seam, and they run the guy on the outside on a post. So basic route combination, and how Cincinnati can match up well with their cover 2 is easy. You're going to have the outside corner. The corners are on the outside, first of all, trying to keep everything funneled inside to where the help is, the two safeties. So that's why this corner is going to ride this route here and ride over top. You're going to have this outside linebacker that's covering the slot. Once he sees this guy leaves his area, his job is to get underneath and wall off on the inside. So now you're squeezing this dig route here with the backer and the cornerback. Now what you have on the inside, this guy's going to get his drop. He sees the crosser. He's going to squeeze down. Also keep an eye on the tailback. If he's coming up and releases out, it will be his guy, his responsibility. But remember, this is another guy that's crossing, so he's leaving his area as well. So he's passing him off to the linebacker who's sitting in between the tackle and the slot receiver, slowly just getting in the way of that passing lane right here. Once this guy clears off, then he's free to take the crosser. And on the outside, you have the cornerback riding the outside of this post, passing him off to the free safety that threatens his area, and you have the strong safety as well squeezing down on that dig route. So you see simple communication, matchup cover 2 zone. You're still playing cover 2, you're matching up everywhere, and you're better protected in the passing game because now you have two guys on the outside routes covering those outsides, and those backers are doing a great job in playing the underneath coverage. And if they could just communicate effectively this week versus San Diego, they could have a lot of success in getting Phillip Rivers off the field quickly. This week versus the Cincinnati Bengals, the San Diego Chargers have to be able to get pressure on Andy Dalton, who still makes rookie mistakes well into his 3rd season. I'm going to show you how they can get that done with the 4-3 cover 3 zone blitz, where we're going to utilize the strong safety as a blitzer. We're going to drop the nose tackle back in coverage. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. You see how we have it set up? We have the strong safety closer to the line of scrimmage because he's going to be a guy that's going to be blitzing. But again, as the cadence starts to wind down, the corners will back off and get into their deep third responsibilities. Free safety obviously has a deep third. Corner bails a little bit. drops back into his deep third, opens up, try to invite this guy inside so that way he can make a play on the ball. Outside linebacker's job is to get into his curl out responsibility. Nose tackle's job is to get a good push, drop back into the hook zone. Now we're also going to have the two backers drop back into their hook and curl out responsibility. So you have 4 underneath flat defenders to protect yourself for the short to intermediate pass. You also have you guys deep down the field protecting for the deep pass. Now where the zone blitz is going to come from, replacing this nose tackle's A-gap responsibility will be this inside linebacker who's looping around into the weak side A-gap. Now we have the strong safety who's going to crash this B-gap here, shooting that 5 technique on the outside, 5 technique on the outside. So you have 4 rushers. 1 is a strong safety, 1 is an inside linebacker, getting that quick pressure to try to force Andy Dalton to make a quick throw. Now you have 2 backers covering the curl out responsibility. You also have the nose who's going to be the robber defender, taking that hook zone, hopefully coming away with the batted pass or maybe even catching an interception. So this is one way they can utilize the zone blitz principles or zone blitzing scheme to get pressure on Andy Dalton to influence him into a bad decision and get the ball back for Phillip Rivers in that offense. One of the big plays the Cincinnati Bengals love to run in the passing game is the dig route. They love to get A.J. Green over the middle of the field. I'm going to show you how versus San Diego they can have success in doing that out of a condensed set and also influencing the free safety to make a bad decision with high-lowing him with a route over top and a route underneath. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Condensed set, we're going to put the tight end in the backfield because we're going to motion him out. He's a part of the play. So we have double tight end sets, 2 wide receivers. This is A.J. Green right here. And what we're going to run with the weak side wide receiver, we're running him on a crossing route. So keep that in mind. He's running the crosser. And before the snap, we're going to send the tight end in motion. And you want to snap the football once he gets the outside leg of the tackle because his job is to run out and up. He's running the rail route. And what we're doing with the tight end, he's going to stem out as well as if he's shooting out to the out, but he's also stemming up into the post. And now we're going to weave A.J. Green inside as if he's going up, over, and digging. So now what you see here is the free safety. Oh, and also we're swinging the back out in the back to attack his weak side area as well, and also probably get this linebacker in a one-on-one situation. But you see where we put the free safety in a bind. He has a decision to make. Whether or not they're in man or zone, this free safety is free, and you want to occupy him. Give him something to do. Either he's going to squeeze this dig route, or he's going to try to get over top or underneath this post. Either way, he's going to make a bad decision, and this is how you can get A.J. Green the football quickly. So again, utilizing condensed sets versus San Diego, who mostly runs a cover 3 or cover 4, you can put the free safety in a bind with that dig route, sending the post behind it. I think that's how Cincinnati can have some success in the passing game, generating a big play to A.J. Green.
Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For San Diego, they must win versus the Bengals ground game. They can't allow the Bengals to control the clock, to control the pace with that running attack. In the first meeting, they had issues stopping the running game of both Ben-Jarvis Green-Ellis and Gio Bernard. They have to do a better job this time around. And they have to play excellent horizontal defense. The Bengals do a great job in spreading the defense out and attacking the flats and forcing you to make plays in space. If the Chargers can't do this, the Bengals will have success throwing the football all day long. And on offense, I would keep it tight and condensed versus this Bengals defense. Try to generate big play opportunities on the ground with those quick hitters, your draws, your traps, your counters, your gap plays, and also try to make big plays in the passing game with those natural rub routes and pick routes, and I think that's how they can have success offensively. For the Bengals in this ball game, they have to get creative with their offensive line protection. I know right now they're banged up along that offensive front, and they have to keep Andy Dalton well protected in the pocket and also have to be able to open up holes in a running game. And Andy Dalton has to protect the football first and foremost. He cannot have that costly fumble, cannot have that costly interception that leaves you scratching your head. Protect the football and you can have a lot of success. It has to be assignment football in the secondary. Do not try to be a hero. Do your job. Keep your eyes on your own luggage. The Chargers do a great job of forcing teams to blow coverages on the back end, which is why they're able to hit big plays deep down the field. So again, it has to be assignment football if they want to have a chance versus this Chargers passing attack. And the X factor in this ball game for San Diego will be their inside linebackers. I alluded to it earlier about these guys having to stop the run. That falls right on the shoulders of those two guys inside. Manti Te'o and company has to do a better job of getting off blocks and making plays at or behind the line of scrimmage. The X factor in this ball game for Cincinnati will be wide receiver Andrew Hawkins. Here's a guy that has similar skill sets as Gio Bernard in the passing game. Both guys do a great job in space, so they have to find ways to get him the football very early and often, as I think he can do a lot of damage to that Chargers perimeter defense. Now, here are some in-game adjustments you want to watch out for in this ball game. For San Diego, if the Bengals bring out Gio Bernard and Andrew Hawkins and they're in a flex position as receivers, who goes out to match up with those guys? If it's Gio Bernard, do you bring a linebacker out there, or do you sacrifice one of your safeties and go single high and bring him down in the box to try to cover Gio Bernard? You can't put a linebacker on him because that's a mismatch in the passing game. And if Hawkins is out there, do you bracket him with a corner and pass him off to the safety? Those are some of the things you're going to have to look for when these two guys are on the field at the same time. And since this is the second meeting between these two squads, it's all about adjustments and less about matchups. And you want to look at defensive coordinator John Pagano's strategy versus the run. What can he do different this time around to slow down the ground game of Cincinnati? And quite honestly, the Chargers have the athleticism advantage over the Bengals' back seven with their tight ends and their wide receivers. So it'll be interesting to see what they do to try to take advantage of the Bengals' pass defense. And for Cincinnati, you want to keep an eye on how they ease Andy Dalton into the ball game, because that's going to be key. The Chargers would love for Andy Dalton to throw the football 35, 40 times this ball game, because that's losing football. So how they ease him into this matchup will be key. And whether they go quick or vertical in the passing game sort of ties into my first point. If they can get the quick game going, I think that opens things up later on in the ball game to attack deep down the field. And they have to be creative with their defensive personnel. Like I mentioned before, the Chargers do have the athleticism advantage on the flank. So will they bring in an extra safety, or do they trust their linebackers back there in coverage? In the 1995 wildcard playoffs, the Chargers and the Dolphins played a great game that came down to the wire, as the Dolphins once held a 21-6 lead at halftime and also held a 21-15 lead with seconds left in the fourth quarter before Stan Humphries drove the team down the field and hit Mark Safe for the game-winning touchdown to win 22-21. In the 1991 wildcard matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Oilers, the Oilers had no shot in this ball game as Cincinnati rolled out to a 34-0 third quarter lead and ended up winning the ball game in impressive fashion, 41-14. I like Cincinnati in this ball game. I believe the Bengals defense will be the reason why they have success versus San Diego, in particular the front four. They're able to get pressure without blitzing. I think they'll do a great job in getting in the face of Phillip Rivers and throwing off the timing of that passing game. And on the offensive side, I think they will have some success running the football with Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, as well as Gio Bernard. So I see the Bengals cutting down on the turnovers and playing a complete game as they knock off San Diego and move on to the next round. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Bengal fan forums and Charger fan forums for always showing football game plan support. And just because the regular season has ended doesn't mean you have to stop playing fantasy football. Thanks to our friends at Fair Market Fantasy for their 2014 NFL playoff promotion. You can visit the website at fairmarketfantasy.com to sign up.